AITA, for wanting to end my relationship because I find it emotionally challenging. I, 30M, have been in a committed relationship with my partner since 2021. Over the past few months, I've started to feel increasingly unsure about continuing this relationship, and this uncertainty is causing me a lot of inner conflict. I care deeply for him, and I know how much he cares for me, which makes my feelings all the more difficult to navigate. To give some context, I'm autistic and have a limited tolerance for social interaction, which means I often need more alone time to recharge. On the other hand, my partner has ADHD and thrives on social engagement. He's very affectionate, and whenever we're together, he wants to spend a lot of time cuddling, talking, and being close. While I appreciate his affection, it can sometimes feel overwhelming for me. When I try to explain that I need space or that I've reached my social limit, he sometimes takes it personally. He was raised by parents who were emotionally neglectful, and as a result, he has deep-seated fears of abandonment. So when I set boundaries, he interprets it as a sign that I'm pulling away from him emotionally. What makes this situation even more complicated is that I genuinely feel guilty for wanting to end the relationship. My partner has made tremendous efforts to understand and support me. Over time, he's become more sensitive to my needs and no longer questions me when I say I need space. Still, I can't help but notice the sadness in his voice when he says okay after I set a boundary. He's incredibly kind, thoughtful, and has done so much for me. For example, he was instrumental in helping me understand my autism diagnosis, and he connected me with a therapist who has been incredibly helpful. He's always there for me when I need someone to talk to, and I know he genuinely cares for my well-being. However, despite all his efforts and kindness, I've found myself growing emotionally distant. I no longer feel the same level of attraction I once did. Instead, I see him more as a friend than a romantic partner. Being in this relationship has become emotionally exhausting. He needs constant attention, validation, and physical closeness, which I struggle to provide. While I understand that his ADHD can make it challenging for him to remember my boundaries, it's becoming increasingly difficult for me to cope with this dynamic. Every time he spends the weekend at my place, I find myself counting down the hours until he leaves, which fills me with a sense of guilt and sadness. So, am I wrong for wanting to leave this relationship, even though my partner has been so supportive and caring?